About not using tumble dryers, and I've got 200.
Oh yes, I beat you.
You win.
All right, thank you. Hello and welcome to Hug and the Snug, where today I am joined by Dr. Paula Owen, who is the Chief Fun Officer at Eco Action Games. And today we're going to be talking about whether fun and games can save the planet. But before we do that, another fun part of this, we're in the Snug. It's called Hug and the Snug, so we need to have our hug now.
Okay.
So, first of all, tell us what is Eco Action Games and why we're talking about how fun and games can save the planet.
Well, Eco Action Games is a social enterprise company that creates and distributes games that main aim is to educate and to engage people in environmental action. It takes a new, positive, playful approach to educating people about what they can do to reduce their carbon use, energy use, water use, waste.
Okay, so let's start with that then, that idea of using kind of games and fun to engage people in behaviour change. Why do you think that that's the right approach?
Why I think it's the right approach? Because we've spent about 20 to 30 years using a guilt-inducing, misery messaging approach to environmental issues. It's all about polar bears dying. It's all about guilt. It's all about it's your fault that the ice is melting because you fly. And although that approach does work for a certain segment of the population, the people who get off on guilt, sort of Catholics are covered there, it works. But for the majority of the population, they're turned off by a whole kind of guilt, misery approach to things. So hasn't worked. 20 years in, we need a new formula. And my formula is doing it through play, through fun. People learn through fun. And that is my aim, to get people to learn without even realising they're learning. And the ultimate aim is they will change action, they'll change behaviour, they'll rethink how they consume and reduce their environmental footprint.
And does it work? Is it true? Do people learn through fun?
Simple
answer, I like that.
Last year we spent a good deal amount of time running what we call pop-up events, pop-up playgrounds. So we rock up at a museum. We've had worked at the Science Museum, Natural History Museum. We've rocked up at the WI, Age UK residential care homes, the London Fire Brigade, Ernst & Young, you name it, wherever they'll have us, we've been there, and we've put on these playgrounds where people come along, play, learn, engage, and hopefully change their behaviour. And we've been collecting data throughout the year. And at the end of last year, I analysed all that data to see if fun and games could change behaviour. And the overwhelming evidence from what we've collected so far is absolutely. People learn, over 2/3 of people who came along to our events learned something new that they were going to take away for their, and implement in their homes or their work life. And a follow-up study showed that everybody who responded had taken action, and the average carbon saving of the actions they'd already taken was 0.5 tonne a year.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Really, you already have shown not only do people learn through doing it, but they actually then change their behaviour, put something into place, and that actually makes a carbon difference.
That seems to be the case.
So how, if we're talking about kind of environmental behaviour change, what kind of games are going to help people learn and change? What sort of things have you got on offer?
Well, what we have started with the premise that we have taken existing, well-known, traditional games that people are familiar with. So they know the rules, they've played before. So there's no barrier to them thinking, oh no, it's a new game, I'm going to have to learn the rules, I might look a bit silly if I don't get it. So we've started and we've taken traditional games such as top trumps, bingo, in the news at the moment, play your cards right, that old traditional quiz show game. And our latest is a eco twist on Twister. And so we've taken, it is interesting to watch people playing that, and we've taken them and we've given them an environmental makeover. So they've all got environmental messaging, and people play. They play because they enjoy the game, but they are accidentally
Accidental learning.
Learning.
So we've got, this is Eco Action Trumps, which is taken top trump. So we're going to do a little mini demonstration game to see if I can learn something.
See if you can beat me.
So do I get to go first?
Yes, you won the last round.
Okay,
yes.
Yes, I did. All right, so my action is ditch the disposable. So I'm not going to use my takeaway paper coffee cups anymore. I'm going to get one of those nice, cool, reusable ones and take it along to Starbucks. Not that I go to Starbucks.
No.
So I'm picking what's the best saving on here. I've got carbon, energy, money, resources. I'm going to go for carbon. It's a low on my one before, but I think it's my best one on here. So I'm going to be saving 28, and that's 28
kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions each year.
Perfect. So I'm going to see if I can trump you with 28. What have you got?
Sorry. I've got keep it short, and it's all about showers being more efficient than baths, but not if you stay under a shower for half an hour. So this is all about limiting your shower time for 4 minutes, saving water, energy, and of course time. And my average carbon saving per year is 190 kilograms.
You definitely beat me in that, and I think
sorry about that
that's
one.
Something I'm going to have to work on as well.
Yeah.
Okay, one more round, see if I can beat you. And it's quite interesting because I've got another shower-related one here. I've got lower that flow. So this isn't about taking necessarily a short shower, though obviously doing both would be better, but turning down the flow so that for the time I'm under it, I'm using less water. And let's see what I'm going to money. That's an interesting one because I always think it's behaviour change. It's it's not fun. It's about giving stuff up. But I'm going to be saving some money with this one. I'm saving £149 a year. Is that right? Yeah. Can I beat you? What have you got?
You've beaten me. I've got a hippo in your loo.
Oh, and this another water one.
Another water one, but cold water this time, so no energy saving. And this is all about the fact that a third of our water gets flushed down the toilet each day, which is crazy really when you think of it. And old toilets use a huge amount of water, 14 litres per flush, compared to 6 litres with a new kind of dual flush toilet. So this is all about if you have an old toilet and you can't upgrade it to a new efficient toilet, it's to put what's called a hippo, which is basically a water displacement device in your loo, saving you a litre each time you flush. So the average loo, did you know, is flushed 5,000 times a year.
That's a lot.
And so you can save 5,000 litres, and if you're on a water meter, that'll save you £12 a year.
Not bad. Not but bad. my lower flowing shower beats you, so that's one round to me. All right. I do feel like I'm definitely having fun. I hope that I'm also somewhere in there I'm learning as well. Okay, so the other side to my question, we've kind of explored that games, is a way of having fun, engaging, learning, but sort of the big counter question to that might be changing behaviour, but does that matter in the face of the massive kind of climate and energy challenges that we face? Is me, taking my shorter shower, cycling to work, is it making any difference at all?
There's the eternal argument about whether we have to leave it all to governments to sort these big global problems out through policy and interventions, and whether we leave it to technology to save us, or whether each and every one of us has a role to play. And there are arguments have raged for years about, all we need is technology, all we need is government. We are too small as individuals to do anything, to make any difference. My take on this is behavioural change and individual responsibility is key. It won't save the world on its own. It has to be part of a triangle of government doing its bit to put the right policies and regulations in place, technology helping us, but each individual citizen of the world doing what they can do to reduce their carbon impact, their resource use, and their general not wasting, and the ethos of not wasting. And so individually, maybe putting a hippo in your loo isn't going to save that much on a global scale, but if everybody did it, then you're looking at a reasonable change. And if people start small, realise it's not painful, it doesn't really kind of impact negatively on them, they might start thinking about doing other things which are larger, which have more of an impact in a positive way on our planet and to help mitigate climate change. So I'm a very strong believer in that we have to have individuals engaged and doing what they can.
So these little changes that they can kind of easily do through here are the right lead-in, and ultimately if people are engaged in making any sort of change, then when those policies come into place or when new technologies come along that can help us do things better and cleaner, that people are sort of ready to engage with that.
They're more open.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do a little plug. What's this for?
This is the new iPhone app that we have, which is a digital version of this game. It's free to download onto a iPhone, iPad and iPod Touch. And please download it and play.
All right, then we'll have to send a link out for that. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for the fun and the learning. And that's all for Hug and the Snug today. Thank you. All right, one more round. I'm asking for tap. Okay, so we can